Hello and welcome once again to a new video, and I'll be discussing a couple of different changes that I'm making at the moment and why I'm doing them and why no dig isn't necessarily a great thing in some circumstances. In this particular bed behind me, it's 2-year-old strawberries that have been invaded by bindweed. And next year I intend to be rather busy and have less time to apply to these sorts of things. I certainly won't be able to keep on top of bindweed in this bed. So whilst I have got time now, what I intend to do is to move these strawberries, the ones that are good, to a new bed, and then transfer this bed to winter tares for cabbages next year, so planning ahead a bit. The bed that the strawberries are going into have actually got last year's cabbages in them still. Good crop, but I still don't want to destroy just yet, so they're going to have to make do, and it's going to have to be a make do bed for this year. Yes, I will be digging these up. Yes, I will be destroying the basis of no dig, but I have to remove that bindweed. I can't go on ignoring the fact that bindweed is in this plot now. It's becoming a thoroughly bad nuisance. So I've got to do both these strawberries, which I'll be doing today, and the raspberries, but that raspberries will be an autumn job. There are a couple of rogue raspberries coming across into the bed as well. I've got to take care of those, but not today. Today's all about the strawberries. This membrane is, or can be, pretty good because it lets moisture through, but I found that in the dry conditions this summer it really prevented watering, made it very difficult, and everything became very dry. This patch of dyed back strawberries on the right hand side there was the spot where I disturbed and dug through the bindweed quite a while ago, and they never really recovered. That wasn't the plastic's fault, but as you can hear, it's ripping, and it's only 2 years old, both the strawberries and the membrane. And of course the bindweed loves it under this stuff. It doesn't need light to multiply itself. As you see there, it's quite well within the bed, and it'll pop up every time it can detect a bit of light, so it pops up with the strawberries. Lovely. Oh well, I'll have to try something else. I have something in mind. These strawberries here, I will dig up later on, because that's actually in the path. And I did get quite a bit of bindweed out, and a lot of couch grass in the bottom half here, and raspberries. Oh, sorry, I'm a bit out of breath. It was a hard task because there was a lot of raspberry shoots going across the bed there, and I'm very glad that I haven't dug it up, but I've spot dug as much as I can. Anywhere I found resistance I dug up and chased the bindweed or the raspberries are out. but I believe I've got it all now, and I believe it was necessary to do that, even though I'm no digger. Little rabbit up there, look. He's happy with it. See, there's one little creature that says no dig is rubbish. That little fella there, because he's after the worms. This little group here are rooted runners from what you've already seen dug up. I won't be planting those out, I'll be potting those up to see if I can get them going again. It's not the best way to potted runners, but let's see if it works or not. And I can fill in the gaps with anything that fails over there. For what it's worth, this bed here has had compost applied to the top, like no dig, and then just forked over, not over, but loosened, wiggled backwards and forwards. Obviously that will let some of the compost down, but it's also released the tension in the bed a bit. You don't have to, you can follow no dig rules if you want to. I just wanted to do this. 4 sacks of compost, beautiful homemade compost from the wood chips that you've seen last week. Now just spread them around. And excuse me whilst I do this one-handed, but so all I'm doing now is spreading this compost and then forking down through the bed, just loosen it. That's not turning it over. It's probably a waste of time anyway, because I've had to dig out so many strawberries, so much raspberries, bindweed and a bit of couch grass, that this bed is messed up for no dig anyway. So it's sort of been dug over really. In fact, I probably should have done a better job on it for the digging side of things. I don't know. It's too hot to go too far today anyway. I want to pull back in any soil like that that's over the path over there. So there will be soil on top of this, so it won't look perfect for no dig, but it is what it is. And I've scooped off any soil that's on this side of the path as well. In case you wonder why I've stopped filming myself, this here is a rip that extends down the entire length of my overalls, and I have the sneaking suspicion you don't want to see that. So this is the next day, Friday the 15th of September. The wind beats me with this particular recording, so I've decided to narrate over the top of it just so you know what I'm doing. Now, this bed will be used for cabbages next year, so the ideal thing is to apply winter tares. Winter tares will fix nitrogen, is a very soft bodied plant, so it really does suit smothering with very little brown matter, so the worms are able to take everything down into the soil. Really good stuff, as well as obviously fixing lots of nitrogen. The best green manure that I've found by a long shot. Field beans fixes as much, but because they're not soft bodied, the upper part of the body has to be chopped and dropped. Winter tare, virtually all of it goes back into the soil. Great stuff. Just to show you as well, this is a bed on the other plot. I'm doing the exactly same thing, but it's no compost applied. The compost is purely because it's such an old bed that hasn't had strawberry for a long time. This has had a reasonable amount of compost this year, so the winter tares will pick up that, grow well, and be giving me a wonderful fertility boost ahead of planting cabbages in the spring, or brassicas in the spring. Highly recommend. If you do nothing else this month, sow some winter tares on ground that that plants that need high nitrogen will be planted next time. Right, just to sum up what's happening on my main plot, the strawberry plot that's going to be cabbages that is now going to be winter tares is completed, just waiting for rains to wash in the seed. This bed is going to be carrots, and Vicia is planted over winter, a little bit patchy. This bed is going to be onions, so I've still got to apply compost, but that's got to wait until after the carrots are out. In the meantime, I will need to apply a good layer of compost to provide the nutrients. This bed, of course, is the strawberry bed that is temporarily a cabbage bed also, with the netting providing some shade. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. There will be a video out on apples very shortly, making cider.